Hi everyone! Good day to all viewers. I am Mondre Jensen Sacopaso, a grade 12 student under the strand of Science and Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM. First of all, I am here to engage and educate you on physics, explaining the several topics about electrostatics, structure of the atom, process of charging, the Coulomb's law, electric field, electric lines of force, electric field due to a point charge, electric potential and potential difference, capacitors like series and connection, parallel connection, and combination of series and parallel. So our first topic, electrostatics. At its core, it is the study of electric charges at rest. Unlike the dynamic world of electrodynamics, where charges are in motion, electrostatics focuses on the interactions and behaviors of stationary charges at the resulting of electric fields they create. The foundation of electrostatics lies in the concept of electric charge, an intrinsic property of matter. This charge exists in the two forms, positive and negative. Like charges repel each other while opposite charges attract. A fundamental interaction governed by a Coulomb's law. This law is the cornerstone of electrostatics, precisely quantifies the force between two-point charges, demonstrating its dependence on the magnitude of charges and the distance separating them. Electrostatics is the part of our life, showing that all of its foundation exists over the world. The seemingly simple interactions of stationary charges reveal a complex and elegant world of forces, fields, and potential shaping our understanding of the universe around us. So moving on to our second topic, the structure of an atom. The atom is the fundamental building block of all matter, has captivated scientists for centuries. While once thought to be indivisible, the atom's internal structure has been meticulously unraveled through groundbreaking discoveries and experiments. The concept of the atom dates back to the ancient Greece, where philosophers like Democritus proposed that all matter could be broken down into tiny, indestructible particles. However, it wasn't until the 19th century that scientific evidence emerged to support this idea. John Dalton, building upon the work of predecessors, formulated the atomic theory, which stated that all matter is composed of atoms. Atoms of a given element are identical and atoms cannot be created or destroyed. This theory laid our foundation understanding of atoms, but I fell short in explaining their internal structure. So the third topic is the process of charging. Objects can gain or lose charge through three main processes. First is friction, conduction, and induction. So first is friction. Rubbing materials together transfers electrons, leaving one positively charged and the other negatively charged. Conduction. Contact between a charged and neutral object transfers electrons, resulting in both objects having the same type of charge, while the last, induction. A charge of object near a neutral object redistributes electrons in the neutral object without direct contact, popularizing its charge. So, in each process, the total charge remains constant. Electrons are merely transferred. So, let us proceed to our fourth topic, the Coulomb's law. So, the mathematical description of the two forces between two charges. So, the force between two charges is directly proportional to the product of the charges. Larger charges exert a stronger force. The force between two charges is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between charges closer together to exert a stronger force. So this is our first example So two metal spheres are placed 0.3 meter apart. One has the charge of 8 microcoulomb and the other has the charge of 2 microcoulomb. So the question is, what is the force between them? So let's proceed to our moving on to electric field. So electric field is the region around the charged object where a force is exerted on other charged object. The field's direction indicates the force on a positive test charge. Its strength, Newton Coulomb, is the force per unit charge. Field's lines visualize the field with the closer lines indicating greater strength. An example of this is a 6 microcoulomb charge is placed 0.3 meter away from a test charge. So what is the electric field at the test charge location? Lines of force. So, a line of force refers to the path along which an electric force is exerted, as illustrated by the bending of these lines in the air and dragging behind the earth in the context of Zeebeck waves near the Earth's surface. So, in this figure, the lines of force is shown. So moving on to our topic, electric field due to a point charge is calculated using E is equal to KQ over R squared, where E is electric field strength, Newton Coulomb, and K is Coulomb constant, approximately 8.98755 times 10 raised to 9 n times m squared per Coulomb squared. Q is the magnitude of the point charge C, and R is the distance from the point charge M. So our example in this is a charge of positive 5.0 microcoulomb is placed in vacuum. Calculated the electric field strength at a point 2.0 meters away from the charge. So using the formula 9.0 times 10 raised to 9 Newton times m squared per Coulomb. So moving on to our topic, electric potential and potential difference. So electric potential as P. The electric potential at a point is the amount of electric potential energy per unit charge at that point. So potential difference, the difference in electric potential between 2 points is called potential difference or the voltage. So in finding electric potential at a point, so our problem is a charge of positive 6.0 microcoulomb plus 6.0 microcoulomb is placed at a point in space. So in this, we find the electric potential at the distance of 3.0 from the charge. the capacitor. So, a capacitor is a simple electronic component that stores electrical energy. It's basically two conductive plates separated by an insulator or the dielectric. When the voltage is applied, one plate becomes positively charged, the other negatively charged, storing energy in the electric field between them. So capacitors are used in many electronic circuits for filtering, timing, and energy storage, but they don't store as much energy as batteries. So this is our problem. A 12 volts battery is connected across the three capacitors in series, 8 microfarad and 16 microfarad and 24 microfarad, and find the charge stored on each capacitor.